Inspiration from everywhere, even just random people on the street in a different country, just different cultures, and really just friends that you meet along the way in life. That's definitely where I get my fashion sense from. Also, just Glasgow's a very fun place, and no one judges you for what you wear, because I feel like everyone here is really bold. It's known to be really loud. I'd say that is much like my fashion sense. Sometimes it can be like really crazy. Sometimes I just like minimalistic, sort of chic. I would definitely say as well, just because the music scene in Glasgow is really big, I would say that sort of indie, sort of rock, grungy vibe with like a leather jacket. The music scene like definitely influences the fashion a lot here. I think the way I keep my fashion sense flowing is by just getting inspiration off of the streets and meeting new people when I do my photography. In the modelling agency, I get tons of inspiration from other models that I shoot with. I'd definitely say a leather jacket. I've got about 7 leather jackets that I just sort of rotate around, but yeah, you'll never see me without a leather jacket, I feel.
I'd say like being queer, I think a big part of the queer community is fashion. I thought that was like a nice way to introduce myself as like a fashion kind of person. Like, I feel like fashion's a good way to like present myself and my personality, and I feel like the outfit really dictates a lot of how I'm feeling throughout the day. And one of my favourite things to do is people watching and looking at their outfits and seeing how I can make it and tailor it to myself. I'd say like a trend that I've noticed recently, most people are wearing trench coats with like comfort kind of style, like a nice joggy bottom. I feel like it's very chic, it's very slate. A lot of the time I like to watch like the new runways that are happening. So as much as they don't really present like themselves as like streetwear fashion, I like looking at the silhouettes and I like looking at like different textures and stuff. It's very much so like an artwork. Even the way that you walk, the way that you're feeling inside, it's an attitude. I love a good ring, I love a good bracelet. They elevate an outfit so much more than what it is. Like you can put on a basic outfit and then layer to the gods, like style to the gods, accessorize, and it will become such a nice outfit. Like, people will definitely turn around because their accessories are like out there.
I think seeing a lot of young queer people being very expressive with what they're wearing, especially at like nightclubs, it's very like inspiring to see what different things people come up with. And I think that's probably been the most influential thing on what I wear. Again, I think especially with underground culture and club nights and music, I think people are just very experimental. I couldn't tell you one specific thing or garment that people wear, and I think that's because people are so expressive and so diverse and unique. I don't know what it is, but like the past 6 months or so, I've just been completely obsessed with pearls. And I love the ocean, I love the sea, like being very playful. Yeah, I love these busted charity shop pearls, they're everything to me. If you really like what someone wears or what they're doing, controversial, just copy it, because you won't be able to copy it in the way that they do it. And then that sort of gap between what you're trying to do and what they're doing is where your own style will come through. It's like anything else, like with art and music, that's how I think you can develop your own style, is by trying to imitate people that are masters of what they do. And then you become your master in your own way.
thing that really interested me about fashion from the first go, I think is definitely like starts off with your family. Growing up, honestly, like my mom and dad put me in some outrageous outfits and they slap. They were so good. So I'm very appreciative of that. And so I think I always grew up with some sense of originality. And then I think also like we're so fortunate that we live in the city of Glasgow, because honestly like so much more random things happens in a day that what you're wearing is the last thing that people are going to notice. You could really just go and put on a mad crazy fit and no one's going to say anything to you. I think my label's still in its infancy. I don't know if I want to call it a label just yet. I think it's maybe more of just a really big passion project. I think what really motivated me was I originally studied engineering and I just don't think it was the lane for me to go down. I've always been interested in fashion, so for me to go into like garment construction was always kind of an interest of mine. I also want to be able to express like my story, my family story, my upbringing, like people who's close around me and their influence. Like I want to be able to use all of that to then express it to the world in a form of a garment, which sometimes is going to be good and sometimes it's going to be bad, but we're still going to try. I think a challenge is definitely like finding the time and the money. It's kind of difficult. I work full time, so 40 hours is a lot of time to be spent not doing what you love doing. I definitely think that the Glasgow fashion scene has still a bit to go. It's still pretty small, and the creators that are in it right now are all based in Glasgow and they're all really cool people, but I think that we could do a little bit more collaborating in terms of like other brands collaborating with other brands or sharing ideas and bouncing off ideas with each other. I don't think that should be a gatekeeping thing, honestly. Glasgow is unique, we said. As a designer, I think it's a duty to express your view on the world in terms of your clothes. What I can see is what Glasgow presents me. I think the way that I use the culture in Glasgow in my design is just by seeing what things are around me, basically. And we have one of the most beautiful architecture in terms of like any city in the world can present to you. Like there is definitely a lot to take from the city. Hopefully it becomes my job to then express what we're all about to the rest of the world, sort of thing.
So I started my fashion journey with some crocheting during lockdown just as something to do, and I made a really simple little purple bralette, followed like a YouTube tutorial, and I posted on Instagram. I made an Instagram account and it just kind of went from there, and that's actually why I moved to Glasgow to do textiles at uni. And I think just constantly being immersed in like art school and making stuff feeds into my passion because I'm doing it all the time. Because it's so diverse here. People just have their own styles and everyone wears such different things. I think definitely my jewellery. Can't leave the house without my little necklaces or my earrings on. Wouldn't be seen without them. Glasgow's full of such colourful people, and I've done some commissions and stuff, and people will message me and be like, oh, like I roughly like want something like this and like these colours. You can really take it from there and like incorporate their personality into it. What's challenging is like staying consistent when life gets on top of like the creative aspect of making whatever I'm making at the time. And I think the biggest highlight for me would definitely be the fashion show. I was in the GCFS like charity fashion show, which was great. Just everything in there.